What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another podcast of Jay's Corner Collector Podcast. Today in the building, we have Professor Metri. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? I'm so excited to be on here. It's such a pleasure.
No, I appreciate you taking the time and everything. I know we were talking like back and forth for a little bit, and I know it was like it's a super busy time and the holidays, and you yourself personally have a lot of things going on right now too. So, man, thank you so much for being in here and taking the time.
Of course.
Welcome in. I saw Bilal in here, Clampy, Gonzo. Of course, Professor Metri had to stop in here and show some love. Oh, wait a second. He's in here. I'll be clipping for Merc, said Gonzo.
Yeah, you better watch what you say, because if Merc puts you in a compilation, you know it's gonna.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be.
I can't wait to get in there. Birthday stream coming soon, said Gonzo. Yes, man.
Oh, man. Dude, we'll get to it later. I'm glad I'm building so much hype around that. It's exciting.
Hey, man, it'll be a lot of fun. That's coming up December 16th. Obviously, we're going to talk about it a little bit, well, probably a lot more later on, because it seems like it's going to be a fun time. To start off right now, Metri, let's start off with your channel. So
sure.
If you guys don't know, he has a channel, obviously, by the name of Professor Metri. Check in the description. You could give him a follow if you haven't already. Metri, how long have you been making content on YouTube?
I think my first video was March 22nd, 2022. So it's just over a year. Actually, it's like a year and 6 months.
Got it.
And yeah, so actually, fun fact, my whole kind of YouTube kind of started with a live stream that was on Twitch, and that was my first birthday live stream. So I really started on Twitch because I used to watch a lot of Twitch, and I was like a Twitch freak, watching everybody on there.
Always twitching.
Like, yeah, Twitch is awesome. And then I started did like a birthday stream. It was kind of random. I invited like all my friends, all my family over, and then that stream, honestly, we hit crazy. We got crazy pulls throughout the entire thing, and I was like, like I should like clip these and like put them somewhere. And obviously you can't do that on Twitch. So it moved over to YouTube.
Got it.
And that's kind of that's actually not how the channel started, but that was the first few, I guess not videos, but how I got the idea to start the channel.
Yeah, so you kind of took the clips from your Twitch stream. Were you able to clip things on Twitch at that time? Like I
downloaded the entire thing.
Oh, nice.
And then I cut it up.
Because isn't it on Twitch like you kind of lose everything once it, like after a certain time? Does it go away, or does it stay on there?
Yeah, because I've tried to go look at it before. I've tried to go look at it again. It's gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm really glad I downloaded it.
Yeah, that was a good move too. Because I was like, wait, how'd you do that? Because I've heard that it kind of just goes away after a certain amount of time, if not right after. But that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So you kind of took those clips, started putting it on YouTube, and then on the YouTube side, it's always been like revolving around Pokemon.
Yeah. The channel was started as a Pokemon channel.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you how I kind of got the idea to start a channel.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm play a lot of video games, and I'm always on Discord with my friends.
Okay.
I have my own Discord. It's kind of funny because it was just a Discord that started with 3 of us. It was me and my 2 best friends. And basically we invited like a few more of our friends. Friends invited other friends, and our Discord's grown to be about like 40-ish people.
Okay.
But it's like a pretty close-knit group. And it's so funny because I have no idea how far back this rabbit hole goes in Pokemon. But at some point I was like started opening packs again, and this was around the Sword and Shield era.
Okay.
And early Sword and Shield, like it's right at the time of literally base set Sword and Shield.
Got it.
And I would just live stream for my friends. I'd go on Discord, turn on my camera, like, hey, you guys want to see me open a few packs? And like, yeah. And I did that for a long time. I did that for if I started my channel in 2022, so I'm probably doing that for like a year and a half or almost, yeah.
Wait, so you were only doing it on Discord for like a year and a half?
Yeah. I was just buy the packs and you guys want to see me open some packs? And I would just go to my friends and open the packs for them.
That's hilarious. Hey, that's the love of the game right there.
Yeah.
Hey, son of a Merc in the building. What's going on, man? Gonzo said we're screwed now. It's all good, man. Welcome in, son of a Merc. Heart is where you roam. Starman DX, what's going on, Starman? Good to see you. More like handsome teacher, says Starman. Ooh. Ooh, hey, he does have
Thank you.
I love the what he got going on with his hair right there.
Thanks. It's a little, it was my hat hair.
Nah, so from like Discord and everything like that, continue with your story, man.
Yeah. So yeah, and basically I was just like, I should like, why am I not recording this? Why am I not hitting the record button? If I'm gonna do it anyway, like why not hit the record button?
Yeah.
And then I did that. And then my first few videos are like horrible because I didn't know how to edit anything. I didn't know how to do it. Honestly, my videos are still bad. But
No, man, they're not, dude. I watched the video where you did like the weight challenge, right? And then you opened up the fossil pack at the end, dude. It was well put together. Hey, man, give yourself some credit on that. Go ahead.
That honestly that video got a lot of positive feedback, and that's regardless of the views, the feedback is definitely more important on that video because I feel like everybody really like they love that video for what it is.
Yeah.
And YouTube sometimes just pushes out videos, you get a lot of views on it.
Right.
And that'll get you comments, but like I felt like the love to view ratio on that was like so high.
You're like, okay.
So I appreciate that. But so yeah, so I had no idea how to record I had no idea how to record anything, how to like do anything. I started with like a webcam that like I don't know, it was like in my drawer or something like that. I definitely didn't have like a nicer iPhone. I think I had like an iPhone like 8 or something like that at the time. And yeah, so I did just that. I just recorded, and the reason my first few videos are also so bad is I had no idea how to edit, no idea what was supposed to use to edit, and I literally like went through one editor, would like export it and then go to another free editor that I just found online and then put it in there. And like, it was like through like 7 editors. And by the end of it, I was like, I couldn't even like edit the music anymore because it was like done like 3 editors ago. It was so funny.
Yo,
like,
it went from 720p to like 140p.
It was deep fried. But yeah, so it was just a little bit of figuring out how to do things in the beginning. And then I started doing some research. I really put a lot of time into like seeing how to do something. And at that time also, when I started my channel, I started watching a lot of YouTube.
Got it.
Right now, YouTube is definitely my biggest form of consumption in terms of social media. And at first, it was kind of just watching people open stuff. And then I started to like study how they do it. I can never, reach the levels of people like that have editors and all this other stuff, but I can take inspiration from them and do like as much as I can with the time that I have and the things that I have. But yeah, so that's how it started. That's the reason. It was just my friends on Discord and this birthday stream that just randomly happened.
Yeah.
And it kind of kicked everything off.
Dude, that's sick, man. I mean, you never know when it happens. And then like,
yeah,
the content side is one thing, but then had you always been collecting, or was it like there a time that you took a break from collecting?
So yeah, there was definitely a time I took it. If I'm being honest, the only reason I probably stopped collecting is because like I was in school, so I wasn't really working. I mean, honestly, I was working my whole life, whether it's, I used to work in a deli, I used to babysit in high school. Like as soon as I finished school, I'd go to this babysitting job.
Petrie's daycare.
Yeah. And I had 2 kids. There was 2 kids and a dog that I would babysit. So I would go and the children's parents came home pretty late. So I was there until like 7:30. So like from after school, which is like 3:30ish, whatever. It was like it was a hefty amount of time. And I did that all through high school. And I was at the same time, I was double working with a bagel store on the weekends. And then I was in school. So I didn't really like have money to buy packs like that. And so I didn't really collect. I was definitely still interested in Pokemon. I used to buy a lot from garage sales. Yeah. Which is super cool. I've got a lot of really cool stuff from garage sales. You don't find that anymore. I feel like it's too popular.
That's where I was stupid and sold all my stuff when I was little because I was like, oh, I kind of want money to spend on whatever the hell I spent it on that I don't have anymore.
Now you want money to spend on Pokemon?
Oh my God. Like, well, if I could smack my younger self, I would smack the hell out of him.
I used to have a collection that it was kind of like a joint of me and my brother. And definitely had, so in one of my videos, it's my first collection video on my channel. I have a video of me from when it was my 4th or 5th birthday. Okay. And I'm showing my mom all these WotC cards, like WotC, it was like Magnicon, Gyarados, Alakazam, like all these like Lapras, whatever. I had all the WotC holo. I had like everything.
Right.
And every Sunday I would go to church and me and this is the two best friends that I had the Discord with.
Okay.
They were friends from church, and we would bring our Game Boy and all our cards to church, and we'd trade, we'd play every single Sunday. And there was a Sunday where I left the binder that I had in the church. And that was the last I ever heard of it. It was pretty.
How are they gonna steal the binder in church? I'm swooping on this.
I know. It's crazy because the binder actually wasn't stolen. It was the cards inside that were stolen. So I found the binder, but they actually took the cards out, which is wild. And I don't know. It's crazy because I still have cards there were still a few cards in the binder.
Mm-hmm.
One of the cards, which I don't know why, it's just. As a child, I used to think it was super rare. It was a Light Sunflora from Neo Destiny. It was just an unlimited beat up copy.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what light cards were as like a child, and you don't see light on any other card. So I used to think that card was like super, super rare. And I remember it was still in the binder. And I remember when I made a new binder, like I put that card like first in there. I was like, dude, this is like one of the rarest cards ever. This is Light Sunflora from Neo. I didn't know what Neo Destiny was either, but I still have the card.
Yeah, he's gonna lose his mind for a Sunflora. He's about to be like, it's a PSA 10 Light Sunflora, 10K or nothing, 10K or bust. Rare Metry outside the Pokeball room, says Son of a Merc. Hey, he's we're in a pop-up. He's in a different area right now. He made time for me, so I appreciate it. Gassy Grabs in the building. What's going on, Lauren? What's going on, Kenny? How you guys doing today? But okay, so you went from like the collecting and everything, and kind of the only thing that stopped you was the fact that you were, a young teenager, early adult. You just didn't have the funds for it.
And on top of that, like not having the funds also left me to like if I wasn't buying, I wasn't really interested, I guess to say. Like I obviously whatever money I could have had, I could have bought singles with it, but
right. It's like those out of sight, out of mind type of thing. Like
that type of thing. So like if I wasn't gonna buy a package or something, I wasn't gonna like do everything else and stuff. So I didn't, and it wasn't till I don't even know. I have no clue how it started. It had to have just been like, maybe I saw something on YouTube. Maybe I saw a pack in store. Like I've always loved Pokemon. I've watched the series a ton. I've painted when I was in high school, I painted my Pokeball in my room I painted it myself in high school. I have like a ton of Pokemon plushies. Like, I don't know. I still loved Pokemon, but it was everything but the cards. And honestly, part of me, like in the back of my head, I'm like, wow, I was a real one. I was definitely a real one.
You stayed down for the cause, man.
The cards. Yeah.
I switched up so hard because everybody was making fun of me. Like, oh, you still collect Pokemon? I was like, no, no.
I collect sneakers.
Yeah, I got sneakers, guys. But more so like in middle school too. It was funny because I was friends. There was this kid that kind of lived near me, right? And he was maybe 2 grades older than me. So I was in 6th grade. He was in 8th grade, right? And he liked Yu-Gi-Oh still. He liked Pokemon still. And we would trade and like trade binders and everything like that. But in school, one time I was trying to show him some cards or something like that. And then one of his friends like, you collecting Pokemon? He's like, nah, bro. Nah. Like, I was like, bro, he just left me out to dry like that. I was a little bit mad.
Nobody's loyal, man.
Dude, loyal. Switched up so quick. I was like, well, I guess I'm done with Pokemon too, But then, I'd be at the house every now and then. I'd be like, okay, when Pokemon, like the OG series is the OG series still on Netflix?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, okay, but I would be watching it on Netflix at some point when I was like post high school and everything. I'm like, man, what the hell was that thing? I should have just been collecting all this time. And but as a kid, you're kind of like real impressionable and you don't like think about it until later on. As an adult, I give 2 fucks. Let's collect everything.
I feel like you always think back and you say like, oh, hindsight's 2020. I should have bought this. I should have bought that. I should have been into that. I try to avoid that type of mentality because like I know like the situation. I wasn't gonna spend my money on Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about it, so there was no way for me to like say I should have done that. I kind of love where I'm at right now. I think I love my collection. I love looking at my collection. And I think the growth that it's had and like how I've been growing it and that type of thing. Like every card that I've come across, like I feel like it has some sort of or every card that I have, like it has some sort of memory or meaning to it, where I got it, where I pulled it, how it and that type of thing. And though I do have a lot of cards and maybe the V's don't count as much. But,
oh, they count.
Yeah. But it definitely has more meaning the way it got to here than if I just said, oh man, like I should have just been buying everything just so it can have more value or this or so um like I don't know, just like I'm an idiot for not doing it earlier, but it all worked out in the end anyway. So
It's right. Now we're idiots for being friends with Gonzo. It happens.
yeah.
It happens. Um, so for your collection, and where did you kind of like when you kind of got back into collecting? What did you start with? You said base set, but were you just going in on packs, or when did you like kind of switch over to picking up singles? What was that kind of road for you?
So I'll be honest. I know everyone says buy singles, buy singles, buy singles. I don't really have, and I don't know that as DPM also says. What? No, I kind of just forgot his quote. It was your niche. What is it with the niche?
Your niche needs to be what specific? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot what his quote is. He whatever. It's just you're supposed to stick to something.
Yeah.
And I don't stick to anything. I enjoy opening packs. And I did start with Sword and Shield. The first booster box that I didn't even know booster boxes were a thing as a child.
Yeah,
no clue. My parents would buy me like 1 or 2 packs and for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I remember not for my birthday, for 1 year I got like a collection box. It's like, dang, this is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I got one collection box the entire time when I was little, and I was like, it was a crazy collection box too. There was like WotC / Neo stuff in there. There was like 11 packs in there. I remember it. I remember pulling Light Arcanine in there. But yeah, dude, continue. My bad.
But yeah, so I started buying like some Sword and Shield packs, and I kind of got my cousins into my younger cousins into it a little bit, and I think it was for Christmas or one of their birthdays, I decided to get a booster box of Darkness Ablaze, which I think it's the second set of Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
And that was like the first
set
that I ever opened a booster box for.
Mm.
And I don't know, it's just so much fun to open it with my cousins. And so we ended up doing a Vivid Voltage when it came out. And I don't know, I typically just, I feel like I'm forgetting the original question, but I typically just open packs just for fun. There's a few cards if I find them like really cheap I'm always scouring eBay for deals and stuff like that.
Right.
Buy it now, newly listed, auction ending soon, see if I can snipe anything.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, I always say too, because I feel like it's a double-edged sword too, because on the other channel there's like a rip and ship and everything like that too. But I'm like, guys, the smartest thing to do is to buy singles. I usually don't follow that either personally, but it's weird. It doesn't feel the same. Like if I pull that card, there's a lot more
there's
meaning to it. Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna part ways with it. I've like bought singles that I really, really wanted, and I end up either giving it away or trading it somehow because I'm like, okay, I don't really care about it. Just take it because it just doesn't feel the same. I don't know what it is.
I will say, I think more important than the collection itself to me is like the memories behind the cards.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like really dumb to say, but I have the
Cheese cam.
XY Evolution.
No, you good.
I have I had to carry the dog. She's trying to fight the other one. I have an XY Evolutions Charizard, and that was pulled on my first birthday stream.
Oh, okay.
And the amount of excitement, and I had like 15 people in my room. My room is not that big. I had like 15 people in there.
Yo, everybody was crammed in there?
Yeah.
Dude.
I still have the video, but I don't know if you see everyone that's in the room.
He packed that house like Madison Square Garden.
Just the amount of excitement when the Charizard was pulled was just unforgettable.
Yeah.
I graded the card not because like I wanted it, like for any other reason than I can display it better.
Mm-hmm.
And that card definitely has probably the most meaning to me.
That's cool.
What I've started, I will say what I've definitely started to look for are things related to Deoxys. Deoxys is my favorite Pokemon.
Okay.
And then Rayquaza is like a close second. And there's a reason. Everything has a reason behind it.
Tell me.
Every day that I came home from school, I had a DVD for Destiny Deoxys. I watched that movie every day that I came from middle school. Every single day. Which is another reason why Metagross is one of my favorite Pokemon. Also is in the movie. So recently I've been collecting anything that's like Deoxys related, and not so much card. There was honestly I missed out on a really crazy auction for like a PSA 10 of is like a Destiny Deoxys stamp card,
Oh,
and it
sick.
only went for like 100 something bucks, which is crazy because it's like a pop 15 or something like
That's wild.
that. Yeah, but I bought like a it's like the original magazine that like the promo magazine in Japan, and it had like 3D glasses that you could put on, and the pages are 3D inside the magazine, which I thought was super cool. I bought the movie itself and I hung it up on my wall. I have a few like Deoxys, just other Deoxys related things that just remind me of the movie more than the actual Pokemon. Because that movie is just memories.
It's like how old were you like when Neo was out? Was Neo what you started with, or was like Watsy around when you started? Because I'm trying to get engaged on that.
I'm about to turn 27.
Oh, okay.
And I was born 1996.
Got it. Okay, so you're not that
like,
far off, man.
Yeah, when I was I guess when Watsy was around, it was like I was like 4 or 5, maybe 6. My brother was collecting a little bit. He's completely out. Like he was completely out of after like elementary school, middle school, or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's where I got most of my hollows originally. And so I wasn't really, my EX era is my bread and butter. EX era is my bread and butter.
Dude.
A ton of cards from the EX era. EXs, especially reverse hollow. I don't think I ever got like a good pull from the EX era. Everything I have is reverse hollows.
Even those are still like amazing though, man.
Yeah, I have a ton of those.
I was on a kick of just like getting okay, I got singles because I'm not about to open up packs from the EX era at this point, you know? So I was just picking up singles like the reverse stamp. Oh man, just looking at different like Deoxys, so Phantom Forces, not Phantom Forces, Holland Phantoms.
Holland Phantoms.
Yeah, it's just oh man. So one of the most the era that I wish I was a part of the most, you know. Continue, and so
I guess no, I was just gonna share another. My whole thing is just memories.
Yeah,
but another fond memory that I have is I was in Target and I convinced my mom to buy me a Delta Species pack, and I pulled the Hollow Mewtwo, and I still have that Mewtwo, and I love looking at the cards and seeing like where they came from, and I knew like the day that it happened. I just love that type of thing.
The memories is like the best thing too, because even with me in the channel, I think it was Bilal and Cards that asked me like your top 5 memories off the top of your head, just like from the channel. I was able to name them like really quickly, things just that came to mind, but there's obviously like so many, and then you're like pulling cards personally, pulling cards for other people, it just sticks with you. And there's other times that I've had other creators like live here on the channel, and you know, anytime those memories are made, you know, we kind of make our friendship even better. It's crazy. And I think that's why Card Party was a lot of fun too, because it kind of brought everybody else together to make those memories and everything. Are you going to be able to go to this year?
I'm definitely making the trip there for Card Party.
Dude.
100%. There's no way I'm missing it.
Did you? All right. As someone that wasn't able to make it last year, was there a FOMO?
100%, dude. And I was like really considering it. I was really considering going, and I was like, man, I don't know if it's like it would have been like probably over $1,000 to go, because for the hotel to stay, I would have liked to. I don't know if I'm gonna stay in the hotel in Florida.
I recommend.
I have relatives in Florida.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I recommend you do, but if you got relatives, you can stay for free. Awesome.
Yeah, and they live like 5 minutes away from the place.
Oh, okay.
So like I feel like it would be such a waste to, you know, to spend that when I could literally walk there. So I probably won't be staying in the hotel as much as I would want to. Maybe if anyone from the Critical Hit, I know that everyone from the Critical Hit podcast wants to go.
Yeah.
So maybe if they like need help splitting a room or something, you know, I'd be totally down.
It's me.
But to get a room on my own, I probably wouldn't do it.
Gotcha.
But I definitely had FOMO from last year, and I was really considering it. I was like, man, I don't know if it's like worth over $1,000. I know I'm gonna buy so much product while I'm there and rip stuff. And then it turned out that like it definitely would have been worth. And it's funny because I ended up going to London like, I don't know, like less than a month later, and I was like, I probably would have rather went to Card Party. You know, London wasn't too special. Like I went with my family, but it was like double the price of if I had went to Card Party. And I don't know, completely off topic, but I feel like London didn't have too much to offer in terms of a city. So
Yeah.
it was cool. A lot of
Hey,
history.
shots fired in London.
The Queen's cool and everything, but nothing I would have.
Hey, you got to party with the Queen, man?
Yeah.
Shit. I didn't know you had it like that. Hey, Gonzo asking the real questions, though. I know Ricky's asking the real question. Who's spooning and who's getting spooned, Gonzo? Because Gonzo said his room is available for you, Metri. So, I mean, hey.
I'll hit you up in the DMs.
Ooh. Big spoon incoming. But yeah, Card Party was definitely, I feel like anytime I have podcasts, I kind of always bring up Card Party because I feel like it was a really good event. Have you ever been to like a Collecticon or anything like that?
I've been to one Collecticon. It was also in Florida, actually. It was Orlando. That's where I met Ian with Ian at that Collecticon.
Okay.
And this was this is February of this year. Honestly, I think this year, 2023, I really got to meet a lot more people on YouTube. Ian with Ian, the people on the Critical Hit podcast, and like pretty much everyone in chat I know. Like I've been familiar with everyone that's like here and pretty much in every chat. I hang around a lot of live streams. But prior to that, like I didn't know anyone. I was just completely on my own. I'd hang out like in different live stream here and there, but I didn't really have like any connection with anyone. Ian with Ian was probably the first person. Like I don't even know. Like I guess I got recommended his stuff. I was watching him. And he's awesome. And
Ian's all right. He's all right. Ian, if you ever watch this, he's mid.
But yeah, so I found out he was going to Collecticon Orlando, and I was like, I need to make sure I find him and I stick with him because I am like I don't know. It's not like I had like anxiety or like nervousness, but like I didn't know what to expect. So I was like, let me find someone familiar and like hang out with them. And I know this is what you're gonna say about like Collecticon, other types of trade shows. It really did feel like after the first day, like I didn't need to do any not like that I was only spending time with like Ian, but every like booth and like vendor that you go to was kind of just there for profit. They're just obviously they need to sell for their table. They paid for their table. They need to make a profit on that.
Yeah.
And then there's all like the signature stuff in that, but definitely the vibe that I could feel just not even going to Card Party, which is completely different than any of these card shows. There was one that I went to that's here on Long Island, where I live, that it was a lot smaller, still a similar vibe, but it definitely felt, because it was so small, that it was a little bit more personable. People were more willing to just be open, talk to you, hang out, that type of thing, versus like move on to the next person and like sell this just deal, like, sell that deal.
Quick.
Yeah, it was nice that it was smaller, and I think that definitely helps with it. Collecticon is like, it's massive. There's so many people. But yeah, definitely FOMO, but it won't be this year.
Yeah, man. I recommend you make it out there. As well, every other creator or everybody in chat, if you guys can do it, get there, make it happen. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, the sense of community is a lot better. There's so many other creators that you kind of like, your peers you're coming up with, whether it be like Ian, fellow Chris, Gonzo, everybody that I got to meet last time. It was a lot of fun. I tried to get my mod Ricky Hernandez to make it out there, but dude, he was just he wouldn't drive up from San Diego. I was like, bro, it's terrible. Not that far at all. I told him. We got Rock Sandy in the chat. What's going on, Rock? Sven McDias. What's going on, Sven? Fella Chris, appreciate you. Just joshing. Thank y'all so much for being in here. In here talking with Professor Metri. He said, my bad. Yeah, we're in here talking about with Professor Metri, kind of a little bit about where he started with Pokemon and his contents. Hey, don't drop the light. Don't drop the light.
The dogs. Maybe I should introduce you guys to Molly.
Hey. Hi, Molly.
This is Molly. It's my sister-in-law's dog. She's just visiting for the weekend. She's also a New Yorker.
Your dog, I mean. She's cute.
Yeah.
We have the dog takeover.
Yeah.
What's the other dog's name? Because you have another dog over there.
Let me show you. This is Bijou. He's a very fat golden retriever. This is my girlfriend's dog.
Sorry, we like him thick.
Yeah. He just sits. This one, although small, very feisty. Very likes to start fights.
Don't all the small dogs like to do that, man?
Yeah,
That's all the
they
small.
like to be in charge.
Extra thick, sir. Yeah, man. Dizzy. Hey, we don't have any
Exclamation mark thick.
we don't have any exclamation points over here yet, man. I don't even have Streamlabs like linked to this account, man. That's how raw it is in here.
Gonzo said we clipped that. Don't worry. He said
That's
yo,
clip.
get that. What is, it said that yo, that's clip. Get him, Merc. Yeah.
Gonzo's the worst.
That's the one that's gonna be the next
Yeah,
one.
it's fine. Yeah, the thicker the better. Small dog, say Clampy. So going in like from anything with Card Party, you know, you're gonna try and make it out this year. For yourself and your channel. Actually no, I kind of want to talk about how you found like a lot of people in the community. You just started hopping into live streams. You just get like recommended different people and you just check them out, click the link, or how did that go? I'm trying to figure out how you came to my channel specifically too, because I remember like a couple times I was like, Professor Metro, I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? Like I had no idea, but then you like kind of kept coming back in. I'm like, oh, hey, appreciate that. You know, I always notice when people like tend to come back in, you know, show love like with their time, come in here. So I kind of want to know how you found everybody.
So for everybody, I would say, yeah, recommended stuff. I love checking out smaller people. Especially after I started my channel, I think it's a lot more interesting to see smaller channels, see where they at, give them like it's obviously it's impossible to support every small channel. There's a lot of people out there. It's a lot of content to consume.
Right.
And as much as I'd like to be a supporter of every single person, I can't consistently be in every person's stream watching every single video all day.
Yeah.
But I do always like to, you know, check out smaller channels. Obviously, I'm still a small channel also, but see the smaller people, give them a comment or just be in their live stream. Like, because I know when I don't typically live stream too often.
Yeah.
And so when I do, I don't typically have too many viewers. So when there is that just one person, that that means everything.
Yeah.
So I like to go into smaller channels and just hang out and talk. And I'm you know, everyone's, you know, has their own story. Everyone's interesting. Like if you talk to them, they'll talk back to you. And that's one of the best parts of live streaming is the interaction.
Right.
And actually I am a product of Rev's raid for you. I
really?
Joined from I joined from Rev's raid.
That's
and
hilarious.
I stuck ever since. I never left.
Dude, shout Rev on that, man. There was like a ton of people that came from that raid, but ended up staying. And I was just so surprised because, I mean, you know, people get raided all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But you know whether or not you keep any core people, that's a different story. And there's like so many there's so many that actually stayed. I was like, that's crazy. Dizzy, Ricky, their mods, you, Washington put a question in here.
There's a reason for that. I've been thinking this the whole time. So you've been doing your podcast for a long time, for a fair amount of time, even on your main channel.
Right.
And I'll be honest, for a long time, I was like, dang, it'd be so cool to like get featured on Jay's channel. And I'll be honest, I felt more like I was coming on here as like a fan that like gets to meet you than it is like another creator or something. I honestly, and I say this from like the bottom of my heart, I love your channel. I love
Appreciate you, man.
Like everything you do. It's probably one of the channels I have the most fun in.
Appreciate you, man.
And so yeah, I do like your stuff, man.
Hey, my man, appreciate it. Hey, he's
No need
making
to
me
blush,
blush. He's making me blush. I'm already red apparently, dude. Thanks, man. No, for real, that means a lot. It was a crazy thing for the raid, man. And there was like so many people in here at one time. It felt overwhelming, but at the same time, there was like a lot of emotion going on. But then my wife brought me straight back down. She was like, "You ain't shit." So I was like, yeah, you're right. Nah, she didn't actually say that. But she was like, "What the hell? Who are you?" She was like, "Who are you?"
What does that mean?
Yeah. It was hilarious too because at that time the setup I had, it was kind of like the setup I had, I would have to like kind of put up for a little while, then I would have to take it down and everything like that. So it was just like in the middle and kind of a living area, like in the corner, right? So she was looking at the live stream and all of a sudden like she was like, "Why are there so many people in here?" I'm like, I got raided. So what does that mean? I was like, "I'll tell you after, don't worry."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a big thing.
No, you handled it like a champ because I got raided by PBM once, Pokeballer Mike. And I was like, I had like 70 people in there, which was like wild. I was like, what is going on? How are there so many people in here? And I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? And so I definitely didn't handle that one the best. But for the next one, I will. I'll be like, everything's cool, guys. I'm a 1,000 viewer channel. That's I've always been like that. You guys aren't coming into anything crazy.
Dude, that's cool though, man. And for the longest time, I didn't even know you had a channel. Like I literally didn't.
Dude, I got to tell you the funniest thing. I on the critical. This is honestly probably like a month and a half ago or less. It was on the Critical Hit podcast, and I'm typing in the chat. I'm in the thing, but I also like manage it, and I was typing in the chat, whatever. And Gonzo keeps going, "Yo, why aren't you on the podcast? Why aren't you on the podcast?" I was like, "Dude, I'm the one in the top right corner. Like I'm on the podcast." He's like, "Dude, I had no idea who you were." He's like, "You have a channel at least?" I was like, "Who did you think that was?" It's like, "Dude, I thought that was Starman."
Gonzo making assumptions.
It was so funny.
Oh, hey, Gonzo's the worst. Dude.
So he was telling me, he's like, I don't like post my things in any of the Discords. Like I don't ask to be shouted out anywhere. I don't do anything for shout outs. So just like I honestly I post my videos on Instagram like on a story like every now and then if I remember. But I don't try to promote anything. I just do it.
Yeah, I mean the extent of my promotion is usually within like my community tab. I don't even now that who I think Valor Finnegan, one of my other mods, he set up my Discord so like it automatically alerts people when I go live. But before that, I wouldn't even post my live streams in the Discord for the most part. Sometimes my mods would do it for me. So I was like, yo, thanks guys, I appreciate it. Yeah, and I don't even like for the longest time, me too. Like when I was just starting to make content, like switching over to Pokemon and everything, I'd be in streams, but I wouldn't be saying anything like, hey, I have a video coming out or I got a stream coming out. You know, I just post it up there and, you know, just enjoy the time that I had like in the live streams or wherever I was today. Clampy did it for you today, said Gonzo. Oh, Clampy, appreciate you, man. Yeah, I was talking to Metri right now before. I was like, I'll post this podcast to the my IG, you know, tag you, because I always feel like I want to tag the person like in the podcast more so for like just to have, I don't know, like for not for them, but like just so that you guys have like something to repost too. And I feel like it makes it like it's just nicer that way to shout you out in some form or fashion.
Also, Roxandy's typically the one that ever does any post for a Critical Hit, and I'm always just like, let me repost it. And if it's not posted like the day, I'm like, Roxandy, can you do it so I can repost it?
Rock out here carrying the squad on social media, man. Dude, shout out to Rock. Washington in the building. What's going on, Washington? Appreciate you, man. He said, what did he say earlier? He said he was talking about when I got raided. He said I was in the living room when it got raided. When Jay got raided, it got strange real quick. Yeah, man, it got real strange, super strange. So on your channel, you said, I think, did you say a little bit earlier that you've been kind of like inconsistent with like either streams or the videos as of late?
Honestly, I've been telling myself I've been inconsistent since my consistency stopped after like my 6th video. I have like 30 videos on my channel now. I started the channel with like 5 videos in like the like 5 videos ready, and it quickly caught up where like I didn't have any videos to post. It was very quick to catch up to that.
Yeah.
It's really hard to keep up, and I never did any live. My first year, I did 2 live streams. It was one random live stream because one of my cousins bought me a booster box for like my birthday. So I think, but he bought it like really early. So I think I did it in like November. I don't remember, but
okay.
I did one like November. I did one like December of like the same year, which was my birthday stream. So I told myself in 2023, I would stream more often. And I did. I have 12 live streams this year. So it's about 1 per month.
Hey, man.
that was my goal, 1 per month. I don't know if I hit exactly 1 per month on the I don't know if I hit the nail on the head exactly, but I did have 12, so it counts for the whole year.
Dude, a win's a win. A win's a win.
But it's really hard to keep up with content, and there's been a lot of I guess call it writer's block, where like I don't know what I want to post. There's times where there's a few videos on my channel where I'm just gonna post it even though I don't really like the video, or I don't feel this is like the video wasn't good or something like that, but I'm gonna post it anyway because I haven't posted in forever. I've taken about 2 significant breaks in my channel that were either a month and a half to 2 months without posting a single thing. And honestly, the comeback from those were great, but then it really hits you hard again.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll elaborate a little more on 2 things. The first one is the second time that I came back, I felt like I was getting the first time I came after that, like for that like month and a half, 2 months break, I came back and I was like, I should really be doing more. And so I can try and get like, I guess, monetized before the end of the year. Cause once the year starts and I start losing hours, it'd be really, really hard to do that. And so I tried to push and push and push. And faster than I thought, I burned myself out again. And that kind of like stunk.
Yeah.
And my last, honestly, I was burned out, but I was still doing everything, but it was much slower. And I think the quality wasn't as good, especially towards the end of that block of that type of feeling. And I think within like about 3 or 4 months ago, I think I took another, or maybe 5 months ago, I took like another break. It was a 2-month break. If you look at my I think like last few videos, I'm trying to remember the timeline of it. My last 4 videos have all been post like break. So my 4 videos plus 2 months, I didn't make any content, and I think maybe did like 1 live stream. I feel like I'm going off like a tangent. Like I'm not here. Like, I'm gonna try and do better.
Keep talking.
But yeah, so I took a break and I honestly completely changed my mentality. And I didn't even do it on purpose. This was not on purpose. And it just happened to be, I was like, I don't care about the views. I don't care about getting monetized. I want to make something that I would like to watch back. And I want to make something that, like, while I'm editing, because editing used to be my favorite part. And at some point it just became
a chore. It becomes a chore.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to have fun editing this. I need to like find a way to like make it fun.
Right.
And I think part of that was like what I'm doing in the video and like how I'm editing it and when I'm editing it and that type of thing. I used to stay up till like 3-4 a.m. like editing it, like, oh, I got to put this out. But I found if I am much more enjoying it, I am like staying up till 3-4 a.m. and be like, dude, this is like, I'm having a great time. The time flies.
Right.
I don't know how I did it. No clue how I did it. I completely put monetization aside. I was like, I'm at 3,400 hours, something like that. So I'm like really close, and I'm avoiding all thoughts of like, oh, I should push for that last 600. I should do this for the last 600. Like, forget the money that's going to come from YouTube is nothing. It means nothing to me. What means to me is that I'm enjoying what I'm doing. This all started as a hobby. I need to keep it as a hobby. And if it grows into something more than that, it'll grow naturally.
All natural.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. So it's just the views and the monetization. Just put them aside. Do what you like. And surprisingly enough, I'll tell you this: the last 4 videos were all 1 of 10s, which is crazy.
Nice, man.
Which is like for them to be back to back.
It's crazy. Tough to do like one after another, and I think that's like kind of why I haven't been putting out too many like pre-recorded videos, because I'm like, man. Like I'm not gonna be in here opening up like vintage items. It can't just be an opening. It has to be something. There has to be a hook to it. And I've just had like that. What you're talking about, like a writer's block, or trying to think of a concept. I do have like 2 different concepts, but that like it just requires a lot of time in order to film the video because of what I want to do for the videos. And I feel like me putting out videos now compared to where I started, I don't want to regress with like the quality of it. And I think that's another thing that kind of I have stuck in my head. Every now and then I'll be like, man, I just got to do this. Just figure something out, just do it. But yeah, that's kind of why like haven't been putting out the pre-recorded content that I want to put out. So the live streams have just been like the thing carrying the channel. And now that I have the podcast back to this channel, I'm hoping, this channel keeps going and something happens from it too. But dude, yeah, I mean, once you stop enjoying it, I always tell people, because for some reason people always ask like, they ask like how do they ask? What is like the biggest thing about like not podcasting but content in general? I'm like, honestly, like you will find out really quickly if you truly enjoy it. Like if you really want to make it, if Pokemon is something that you really like, or if content, putting them together something you really like, because you are going to get burnt and it's going to be, it takes up a lot of time. It takes up a hell of a lot of time. So that's kind of like what I prepare them for. You know, you'll find out really quick if you're going to put that work in and make it happen. And sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you need a break.
It's nice that you have the live streams that you're obviously your rip and chip to like fall back on, where it's not so much falling back on, but it's you're consistent on the channel with it.
Yeah.
So like even if you're not you're not as pressured to put out that long form content, because even without it, your channel's still thriving. Your channel's still alive. You still have a lot of people coming in here. You still have your community.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, it's not exactly the same, but because I don't live stream as often. I think also with live streaming, if you don't have a rip and chip, it's a little more, you have to be a little more creative with your time. Ian's like the champ of being creative, because I never see him open a pack on stream, but he's alive for like 6 hours.
Ian's in here right now too.
Is he?
Yeah.
I think he just got in here.
He's gonna, hey, his head just went like that right now. Pause. Pause.
But yeah, so he's definitely got a creative mind for this.
Yeah, 27-hour live stream, no packs at Ian. That's that's a tease right there. That's what that is, man.
Yeah.
No, but it was always a joy to have like him and like any other creators come onto the channel, whether it be in person or in the podcast format, because I think because we're like spread across the country, right? We tend to not like talk enough about bouncing ideas off of each other, or I think that's where like a lot of writer's block goes away once you can talk to someone else in the same space as you. And I think that kind of rejuvenated a ton of people, especially after Card Party, just talking, learning, seeing that they're dealing with the same type of struggle that you are as far as content, or, just bullshitting, just having fun with it. That was probably the best part of it. The after hours aspect of, when the actual event was over and everybody was just hanging out. Rock Sandy said, writer's block sucks ass. Sucks ass indeed, man. We have a couple of questions in the Q&A right here, so let's start with that. Bilal and Cards in here. Shout out to Bilal. Which gold stars do you want to pull the most from your vintage packs? Also, happy 15-day early birthday, Metri. Same question for you, Jay. Rayquaza doesn't count. Whatever.
So my birthday is actually the 10th, but I'm gonna be away on that day.
Yeah.
So I had to move the live stream. I've always on the 10th for the live stream, but I wasn't gonna be able to do it this year. If there was a gold star that I want to pull, to be honest, I don't have a specific one. I will say gold star is my dream is to pull a gold star one day.
I want to live that CTR lifestyle one day.
I mean, I guess my thought is I'm gonna open one per year. So I said by the time in 72 years I'll have pulled one. 1 in 72 bags. So I said by the time I'm like 100 something, I'll have pulled one. But 98, 99, I guess I'll be.
Hey man, live a long life, bro.
I think if there's one that I want to pull, to be honest, I feel like they're not even the expensive ones. I want to pull one of the legendary dogs from Unseen Forces.
That'd be nice. Any of them, or just is there a specific one?
Honestly, no. I don't think there's. I think I would not want Raikou. I think I like.
Isn't there like an issue with the Raikou Gold Star that it was? I remember there was like some sort of if someone was making fakes of the Gold Star Raikou at one point, or they were hoarding it, or they were just something happened with that. I forgot what it was. No, I'm not going to talk about it, but I think for me it would probably be, besides the Charizard and the Rayquaza, because those are like probably the top two. It would be probably the Gyarados. I really like the Gyarados Gold Star. That's a good one. And Holland Phantoms is probably, besides Deoxys, would be one of my go-tos. Oh man, but then you got Team Rocket Returns in there too.
Yeah, Team Rocket. I'm actually, I think the EX Deoxys is probably my least favorite set from the X era. I think it actually has nothing to offer except for the high end chase cards.
Yeah.
I think even like the EX cards in that are not even that good. The regular hollows in it, and this is definitely a controversial thing for like the EX era people.
Hot take.
I follow a lot of them on Instagram, and the reverse hollow for that is very unique. It has like a gem pattern to it.
Which one?
It's the EX Deoxys.
Deoxys. Okay, yeah.
It's like crazy gem pattern when it's a reverse hollow. It's the only one like that, and like I feel like it's just too much, and I don't like it. So hot take that I don't like EX Deoxys at
all. Which you're opening up Unseen Forces right on your birthday?
Delta Species.
Delta Species. Oh
yeah.
Shit. What do you want from Delta Species? Well, okay, if you could choose, obviously you'll take whatever. But
here's the thing with Delta Species and why it's probably my favorite. Other than that, I opened it as a child. It's also where I got the Mewtwo as a child. It honestly has the best cards. I look at it and it has all the evolutions. It has Dragonite. It has Rayquaza. It has Tyranitar. It has Metagross, which I love.
Right.
As a Gold Star also. The Gold Stars in that are Groudon and Kyogre and Metagross. And Gen 3 is my favorite. So if I pull the Groudon and Kyogre, I don't really like those Gold Stars. I think they're a little ugly.
Mm-hmm. But it's more of the nostalgia because of that being your favorite.
I just love Gen 3. It has also in the regular set all of the Dittos that look like Charmander or Pikachu, and it's the Dittos as claymation, which are super cool. There's 2 of each one in the set, so there's double the versions. Also, it has just a ton of Delta Species cards. And those like as reverse hollows have like the gold lettering, and they have like the special foil border. So just all around like awesome set. And obviously Holland Phantoms are a very close second because it has all of that too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Holland Phantoms, I've been wanting to get at least a pack of that and open it up sometime for like some sort of special, milestone or, personally. Gonzo's been waving his Fire Red Leaf Green pack in front of my face for a little while now too, which is awesome too, because I mean it would be awesome to get like the Charizard added there and everything too. Yeah. But that's or Holland Phantoms. Deoxys, the only reason I would ever open it was because the off chance of pulling the Rayquaza, at some point. But that's a big. That's a lot of money for a one in. I don't know how many chance to try to pull that. So it would be definitely like one of those EX sets that has a good possibility of getting some like top tier card in the reverse slot. And then, you can maybe get a good pull in the rare slot as well, man. But
I was looking really hard for an EX blister that has Delta Species, Unseen Forces, Holland Phantoms, and anything that has Gold Star. I didn't even mind Power Keepers. Which is like the worst. It's not the worst EX set, but it doesn't really have much.
Right.
That's
the Reggies are in there, right?
Power Keepers has Umbreon, Flareon, and
okay.
Gold Stars, which are still great.
That's
yeah. I think that's what. Maybe I'm confusing it, but I think it's Umbreon and not Umbreon. The Evolutions.
Yeah, the OG3. Right?
Yeah. Which is still great as Gold Stars, but I think the reason that set also gets a lot of not as much love in terms of EXR sets is they only have 2 Delta Species cards, which is or maybe no, I don't have any, but there's no Delta Species cards in that set.
Yeah. That
but it does have the Charizard, the Power Keepers Charizard. But other than that, there's like not too much in there. So it gets and kind of put aside. Also, the hollow is pretty basic. It's just a regular hollow. But anyway, I tried to find a blister for my birthday, but non-existent. There was every single one has like an EX Deoxys pack, and that like raises the price up like $1,000.
So much.
And I found a lot of 2-pack blisters, but they were so overpriced. For whatever reason, 3-pack are typically a little bit better priced, but they always have EX Deoxys.
Yeah.
And I don't want EX Deoxys. I don't want to pay for that to open it.
Right.
I was considering buying a 3-pack and opening one per year for the next 3 years.
You're like, it's still a lot of money right now.
I couldn't find anything. They're really hard to find.
Yeah, I mean,
and I follow a lot of people for EXR stuff, and just nobody had anything.
Go ahead. Not that I've looked like hard for it, but I just find it from a trustworthy source, and preferably a blister. Even blisters can be tampered with, obviously, though. But just trying to find something like that, I've just been very sketched out, unsure about like what way to go with it. But I mean, that's why I'm like, okay, Gonzo, I might pick up that fire red leaf green because he told me he didn't weigh it, and I trust him. I trust him enough to not be an asshole and give me an
I will say
unweighed pack.
though, EX packs are like pretty much impossible to weigh.
Yeah.
There are heavies in like the 16 point something range, and
Oh,
there's
okay.
light in like the 17 points. They're very very hard to weigh.
To judge. Yeah.
They are weighable. Obviously, if something's in the 17s, they're probably heavy. But it's not. There's no guarantees like there are for WotC and 21s. I was gonna say something else, and I completely. Oh, speaking of getting burned. I don't know if you saw last year's live stream from my birthday stream. I opened a Crystal Guardians and I bought that on eBay.
Yeah.
And that was full of green leaf energies.
Dude.
And that was
I think you had mentioned
hurt,
it.
man.
You had mentioned it to me one time, and I went to go look for that specific stream, and I watched it, and I was like, "This is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking."
Dude, I don't know if you also. So obviously there was a lot of people in that room. Also, there was more people in that room than it was the year before, and you just hear one of my cousins go, "Oh," like they don't even know what Pokemon is, but they know that if I open a pack and it's all the same energy, it's not good.
It's like something's wrong here.
Yeah,
dude, man.
That's I got my money back. I bought that on eBay, and I got through my credit card. I got my money back.
Nice.
So thank God for that. But I bought from Loose Packs this year. He's very very reputable.
I've heard of Loose Packs.
Yeah, he has a store online also. He had a fresh box, and I was like, yeah, I just got it from the middle of the box. He asked me like which pack and which art do you want? And it's like the third Metagross in the box. So obviously I went for the Metagross. So I was like, yeah, it seems pretty random. It sounds like a good thing. If I'm not taking it from the first pack or the last, I feel like odds are it's never the first or the last, but sometimes it is. But
it's very rare you start the box off high like that. Dude, I mean,
just got in the middle.
I'll be in on that stream. December 16th is when Metri's having that birthday stream. He's going to be opening up some nice vintage on that stream, man. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you know what? I think I told you the second pack I'm going to be opening is the second, I guess, like vintage pack is Japanese Expedition, which is another big one. So
you don't see that open often at all, especially in Japanese, man.
I will say, so I did the stupid thing of weighing it, and it is heavy.
Imagine it. What if it was light, man? You would have been so bummed out.
I would have been so. So the thing is, there's also like I couldn't find any information online on weights, and I went through a bunch of people on Instagram. I was like, what have you had that's heavy?
Yeah.
And they said 8.7. There's only 5 packs in the
5 cards. Yeah.
There's only 5 cards in the pack. So it's super light, and he said 8.7 was heavy. Mine was an 8.8. Nice. So I was like, but okay. I'm hoping for the best. So I'm not gonna be disappointed either way. So I'll tell you, I don't know if you watch Dusty's channel or Rock Sandy's channel. Rock Sandy did a live stream once where he opened a box of Evolving Skies, and
it was bad, wasn't it? It was bad.
But that was sent to him from someone named Corey. There's a guy in this community. He's probably not in here, but he basically is just he's a fan of like our channel. He's a fan of the podcast, and then he pretty much looked at all our channels like, dude, I love this stuff. And I won't talk about who he is, but he's basically like very big collector and very generous person. And he basically sent all that stuff to Rock. He sent like well over $1,000 of things to Dusty.
That's crazy.
I like refused him to send me anything, and he like begged for my birthday, and I was like, "You're allowed to send me one thing," and he sent me and I was like, "This is still too much. Like, come on, like just." I don't know. I shouldn't have given him anything, but he sent me a Japanese Expedition pack, which was like super nice of him. It's even crazy that like someone would send me that. Like
that's insane, man.
But like just the fact that the dude likes my stuff is like crazy that someone's watching my stuff and like talking about it. I was like, that's a
That
little
is one of the
crazy, but
that's one of the craziest feelings ever, because like I know, like I've had, you know, people send me things here and there, and I used to be like, just don't send me anything, you know, it's fine, do not send me
yeah,
anything. But I've had people reach out like personally, you know, through email, like, hey man, I really want to send you this, whether it be Washington that's in my chat, he sent me multiple things, you know, just out of the kindness of their heart, because they love the channel, because
I think he made a video on his stuff, right?
yeah,
I think he
yeah, a
sent you
recent one. That wasn't the first time he sent me anything either, too. Because like when he first kind of found the channel through the Rev Raid before too, he was in there for a while. You know, he was hanging out. He made purchases, obviously, and then he's like, "Hey man," it was when the Charizard UPC was coming out. It was before it came out. He's like, "Hey man, I get my Zards UPCs in this day. I want to send you one so you could give it away." I was like, "What? Like for real?" I never had anything like that happen to me before. So man, I feel you, like on the generosity of some people. It's
hard to say yes, but
yeah,
at the same time, like I'm not gonna lie, like I definitely want I definitely want stuff. It'd be so cool to get
you're like,
stuff
no,
yeah,
no.
but at the same time, like I can't, like it's hard for me to say yes to this stuff. But I guess I took some inspiration from Dusty and Rock, and they said yes, and they're like, listen, like we all know that we don't deserve any of this.
Yeah.
And his name's Corey himself was like, dude, he's like obviously like I've donated to your channel a lot. I've done like, and we also have like I've every now $2, $10, whatever. And he's basically like I know like you've donated to other channels, and like those $10 or $20 or $2, like they don't really affect you. Like that $10 isn't gonna put you in a hole or something like that.
Right.
And so you can do that. He's like, I can send you this and it won't do anything to me. He's like, just trying to understand this perspective that I just want to send something like out of love for like the channel and stuff like that.
That's great.
And I was like it's so nice. But yeah, so he sent me that pack. He sent me something else too. I didn't open it yet. I said I'll open it on the I'll open it on stream. I don't know what it is yet. He said it's like really small, so I'm assuming it's really small. But I'll have a little segment at the very end. I'll open both of his packages, and then probably the packs, the vintage packs. But yeah,
man. Like I said, guys, December 16th for the live stream on Metry's channel. Make sure you check him out. I know Gonzo, you've been in here throwing in the link, so I appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you guys a lot.
Yeah, Washington in here saying, coming in here with a random question, a what if question. So if you are in front of a Pokemon vending machine and you find 49 packs of Evo Skies at $3.99, do you pass or buy all 49?
That's actually a really funny question, because my ShopRite, it was about 2 months ago, which obviously Evolving Skies was still expensive 2 months ago. Had probably over 100 packs for $4.
Oh wow!
And yeah, it was wild. I bought 36 of them. I bought a booster box for like however much. It was actually crazy, because it was every ShopRite on Long Island had this ridiculous stock of Evolving Skies. And one of my friends, like I don't do that. Like I don't buy out places. There was over 100 of them, so I bought 36 of them.
Yeah.
He bought, I think, 230 packs of Evolving Skies from a single ShopRite for $4 each, which is, and they're just sitting in a tub, which is crazy. I was like, I can't believe you bought every single one. I'm not gonna tell you not to do it. Like it's a dumb. Also, it's a ShopRite. Like I don't know who's buying Pokemon, who's going actively to, like, obviously those definitely went to kids, because like the adult, I don't know what adult is going in there, like Scalper is going to ShopRite and be like, yeah, I can't wait to get all the Evolving Skies from ShopRite. And it was so random. And they did it for like a week straight. He bought it out, and then they added like a few more, probably like 100 more, and then he didn't buy it. He didn't buy the second round.
That's crazy that they had that much stock of Evo Skies, even like at that time.
Dude. It was all sleeve blisters, and I bought 36 of them. But so if there was 49, I'd buy 36, just if you're wondering.
Yeah, I would probably do a booster box as well too. I would be like, I would be like, all right, I would type 49 and be like, I shouldn't do it. 48. No, I would probably at least I would buy probably a booster box of it, man. Yeah, for sure, a booster box at least.
I have a booster box. I have 36 loose packs, and I have those Costco tins. I bought 12 of them, which each one had 3 packs of Evolving Skies. So I have 3 booster boxes, quote unquote, of Evolving Skies. So I'm actually I couldn't get myself to one. I wasn't gonna pay $9 a pack to open on stream because like I know I'm gonna get burned.
Yeah, it's tough.
But my friend was like, yeah, bro, I got so many packs. I'll bring some to open. So I was like, all right. So cool. He's gonna bring some over.
I got some. I know. Evo Skies is just like one of those things. Like finding it at a good price is a difficult thing at this point. And at selling it after that too is even scarier. Ricky's in here too, saying, "Say Jay, how do you get your skin so smooth?"
I'm breaking out pimples a little bit on my forehead.
Hey man, you're still young. That's why. Only 27. I don't do anything, man. I just wash my face. I don't do anything special.
I don't even wash my face.
Yeah.
I used to have my girlfriend used to be like, yo, you have like better skin than me, and she's using all these products. Or like her skin, like she heard like 20-step skin morning and night.
Probably using too many products. Roxanne said, "Bro's hitting puberty." Rox won the talk.
Damn.
Oh man,
burned by a rock.
I'm saving packs for a down payment on a house at Gonzo. Hey man, if they accept Pokemon cards, bro, all the Evo Skies to the moon, man. Ricky also asks, are there things excuse me, are there things lessons you've learned through Pokemon, hold on, and your channel that have been able to apply to your life outside of the space? That's a very deep question, man. I was not ready for that after the skincare routine, bro. I need to mentally prepare for that one. Lessons.
Do you mind if I go real quick? Shoot. Do you mind if I go real quick to just check on the dog real quick?
Yeah, man. Feel free. Feel free.
Okay.
He's out here leaving me because he doesn't know how to answer the question, so he's out here leaving me.
That's exactly what it is.
I gotta check the dog real quick, bro. Hold on.
I'll be right back.
Roxanne said waifus. Yeah, waifus make the world go round. The higher the waifu, the better. The better the waifu, the higher price the waifu, the better. Pump the waifus, Roxanne. Pump the waifus. Joey choosing violence today said no, but for real, like as far as things, lessons, I'm not sure if it's like lessons. It's taught me decent organization, trying to keep things in order, even though like right now, if you look at it, it won't be organized. But as far as people's orders, my wife laughing at me right now. She's like, "You a goddamn liar." But oh man, life lessons. The dog called my name. BRB said Dizzy. Oh damn. Over here roasting roasting Metri.
No, I heard everything.
Off the top of my head, like it's damn life. Honestly, it's taught me that people are really like kind, and the people that you attract to your channel are somewhat a reflection of like how you are. And I think that kindness goes a really, really long way, whether it be like a tiny little thing or something very, generous. A little bit of kindness and time goes a long way in this world. And it kind of brings you to reality and seeing that we are all pretty similar in that aspect. Like, okay, like this person was very kind to me. I want to be kind back to them or, support them in some way, because there's been chats that I've been in and like, hey man, I really want to show this person love beyond just my time, whether it be monetary or, sending them something. I think that this community has really been great for the most part. Everything is really good. Everything's really great. And there's just a lot of kindness and generosity within it. And, I think that's why it's even worse when we see somebody exploiting that kindness or that generosity. And that's why people like get pissed off really quick, because it's just not something that we want within any community, but especially the one that we are in. Gonzo, go ahead.
I can piggyback off that a little bit. From like a bit of a personal, perspective. I'll say first, I'm 100% Egyptian, and I go to an all Egyptian church.
Okay.
And that typically kind of leaves me in, and for a long time, it's left me in a bubble where, I'm always surrounded by pretty much the same type of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also there's especially it being like a church, you have this like I guess it's this like-mindedness where it's like, oh, all these people that like go to church or something like that are like the good people, or like they're all Egyptian, they're all exactly like me type of thing. And especially while I was in school, you don't always come across the best people in school.
Yeah.
And there definitely is a lot to say when you try to surround yourself with like when you try to surround yourself with like-minded people and the same people.
Mm-hmm.
I'd always just fall back on my church friends. They're like my best friends. I grew up with them all my life. I didn't always hang out with school friends as much. And when it came to I guess like the Pokemon community, there was nobody to fall back on. None of my friends are into Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was definitely this effort to try and like, I guess, sorry, I don't know if you heard that.
I didn't say anything, man. I'm looking away. You good?
So like try and connect with people. And I think the takeaway that to answer Ricky's question out as he answered it is that there's not always just your group of people that you think are the people who kind of fit your life.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a ton of tremendous people in the Pokemon community, from Jay, Dusty, the Critical Hit podcast. Yeah. And there's also obviously a lot of other people who are not as nice in the community, but they're all part of the Pokemon community in one way or another. There's all people who are part of my Egyptian community who are not all great people either.
Yeah.
And it kind of, helps you realize that it's not wrong to step out of your boundaries, to interact with people, to meet people, to like that there are people who are going to do things way better than you, who are like different from you, and it just, I don't know. I think I was a bit closed-minded before, and being open to a completely different community. Like the Pokemon community is huge with many people. And obviously it's nothing like my other side of like the Egyptian community, who are like my friends. It's all religion and all this other stuff. It's completely different.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a place for it. There's a place for the people. There's a place for everything that's involved with the Pokemon community. It's all good things. It's not bad things. They're all great things.
Right.
So it definitely leaves me a little bit more open-minded when it comes to different hobbies, different activities, different just people in general.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I didn't even like think of it in that perspective either, because I could be like friends with Gonzo, who's a complete degenerate, and then at the same time, who else is in here that is not a complete degenerate? Stephen Collects was in here. Stephen Collects, you're not a degenerate, right? Like I could be friends with so many different people, like from different backgrounds, and we don't all speak the same or have the same style in the video. Some of us, curse, some of us don't curse, but regardless, it's like we kind of all fall back on this hobby that kind of brought us all together, which is crazy. That's not a very common thing. I've been part of different, and I won't say like I've been around different kind of groups within like YouTube, the space, whether it be in basketball or sneakers, whatever. And it's not like that in other spaces. I'm not a degenerate, say Clampy. Clamp, you are not a degenerate. All right, there it is, Clampy, So I could be friends with like different people, and, we kind of all kind of gravitate to the same thing, or that one thing kind of brings us together, which is, a pretty uncommon thing in the world today. So it's been that's probably been like one of my favorite things. The thing that made me want to, pursue more like Pokemon versus anything else was because I loved being in chat. I loved seeing other people, like just the community aspect of it. It was a really big thing, and Rev kind of brought me into it, and it took me forever to even type anything in chat. I'd just be watching, lurking, because I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to say anything. I don't want people to say anything like bad about me. But eventually it went away. I started commenting more, started becoming part of it, and it's it's turned into something really cool that we have here on my channel, and it, like, even for you too, like just having fun with it.
Yeah,
having fun with it, man. But that was probably the realest and the most sincere thing we'll say on here. It's time to get back to some degenerate hours. Gonzo said, "I'm not either. I'm a fucking saint." Gonzo, you are. Praise to Gonzo.
God bless you, Gonzo.
Yes, God bless you, Gonzo. and Lori as well, because we know she needs that so to get through the day with you. Dizzy's laughing at Alex. Hey, appreciate you guys being in here. I said it once, I'll say it twice again. Make sure you guys show love to Professor Metri on his channel on December 16th. He'll have his live stream. Metri, do you have other things coming up too, or because trust me, I know you got a lot of things going on right now that you're going through. So do you have other things like planned, or as far as like pre-recorded content or more live streams?
Honestly, no. So I don't have anything in the works at the moment. I have ideas brewing. So I've always had, I guess, a vision, not always, but I have a vision for my channel. And I've had a few videos that kind of hit this vision, and I want it to be, to stick to my professor name. And I want to do teaching videos. Not so much teaching how to play or anything. I have a lot of knowledge on, honestly, on a lot of Pokemon things, especially the EX era. I just love studying like all the sets and how they came about and what they like, how they put certain Pokemon together, or like I don't know, just history or something to teach the viewers about Pokemon. And I got this idea from TCA Gaming. So I used to watch a lot of TCA Gaming. That dude in every video, so especially during like the COVID era, he is just dropping knowledge bombs left and right. And the video has nothing to do with it. He's just opening a pack or something like that, or he's just showing something off. He's like, oh, here's a card, which happens to have some sort of era from this era where it came out during this release, and it just like off tangent completely with just the most insane knowledge. The dude is a genius.
He is. Rusty's a freaking goat, man.
He knows everything about anything vintage Pokemon and how it started and who did it and that kind of stuff. Like, it kind of inspired me, and I was like, I want to do that, but with a focus on it. I want to like focus on that type of teaching things and like telling people about. One of my favorite videos on my channel, which didn't do great, is a video on set symbols and what all the. So I covered all the WotC set symbols, and what they mean, why they are what they are, and how to differentiate them, type of thing.
That's cool, man.
And I honestly, I myself go back and watch that video because I
like it.
Symbols. Yeah, I like it. I'm really upset that they got rid of set symbols because those are some of my favorite things. But I mean, I think now is a better time than ever. You know, I'm not trying to play catch up with anything. Eventually, the series will end, and I'll be like, yeah, that's great. I made a whole series on it.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue that series of set symbols.
Okay.
I definitely want to make a video on like the history of the EX era. I'm definitely gonna make a video on that at some point. I think in 2024. So I set a goal for myself in 2023 to do live streams, and I hit that goal. I got at least one per month.
Yeah.
And I was happy with that. That's exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what I did. I want to create a series in 2024 on I'm not 100% sure what it's going to be focused on, but it has to be something history related, teaching Pokemon. And one of the things that I've really been narrowing down on, especially because I'm going to be opening EX Delta Species, is honestly the history of Delta Species Pokemon.
Okay.
Because the cards hold like a lot of information that like people don't realize.
It gets overlooked all the time.
Yeah, so Delta Species was the first Delta Species set that had Delta Species Pokemon, and they came out with Holland Phantoms. Holland Phantoms kind of completed that story of what Delta Species Pokemon were. Holland was a factory that was not a factory, it was a laboratory looking for Mew, and they sent out like electromagnetic waves. The electromagnetic waves affected the Pokemon. They changed typing. And that's kind of how, but there's obviously a lot more to it when you look at the cards. There's a card, Holland Researcher, and it has like the Mew in the background of the card. And I forgot what the card does, but it connects to a bunch of other cards and how there's like a whole history behind it. It's really cool.
You need to do this. First of all, you need to. I need you to do this. I will hold you accountable if you do not like start doing them, because I enjoy learning more about it too. I think like getting back into. I always have a thing, like if you don't know like the basic aspect of like Pokemon, and you know you're opening it, and I feel like you should know something about it other than this is a shiny cardboard, you know. So like I like to learn more and like that's why I would watch Rusty before too. You know, like all those videos he had, he's so knowledgeable, knows a lot of things. Or even when any other creator drops like extra knowledge on top of it, Ricky dropped ClampFan's IG link because Clampy, whenever he goes on IG Live, like he'll go off on not a tangent, Clampy, but he'll go off on some like story about, you know, this or that, and you know, you gain more knowledge, specifically a lot of times on like Japanese cars and everything like that. Like he's like the go-to when I'm like not sure about something on the Japanese side. He knows. So I think that needs. I feel like that's a void within the space that needs to be filled. Pause. So you need to be the filler of that void.
I'll do my best. You know, there actually is a lot of like history content out there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get promoted with any of the card channels. There is a very few of them out there.
Yeah.
But there are a few of them. They just don't get promoted with other.
Yeah.
I realized that Pokemon, like Pokemon Go to Pokemon Cards, Pokemon
Doesn't cross
like,
over.
Competitive. Yeah, they don't cross over on YouTube that very well. Not that they don't cross over very well, but typically the person who does one doesn't typically do the other.
Yeah.
So I'll be the bridge between history
Do
and
it,
cards.
man. Do it. Man, I need that. I need that to come out next year. So I'm gonna hold you to that, man.
That's my goal, to make a good series for some history lessons on Pokemon next year.
Hell yeah, man. There's let's see, it's about 7:45, right around the time that we right around like as long as we have the podcast right now, guys. So guys, if you guys have any other questions to ask Metri right now would be the time, because I think we're going to be starting to wind down on the podcast. History Metri, said Ricky. I was going to ask you about like why you came up with like Professor Metri, but you kind of answered it yourself too. Like you always want to like give knowledge, right? Teach.
It's actually really funny because my brother's the one who came up with the name. My brother's really very creative. My brother has a lot of he's a lot of the creativity behind a lot of things. Anytime I get stumped on anything, I message him. He's a wealth of knowledge. So I give him a lot of credit. But he's the one that came up with it. He gave me honestly 10 different names to go with. And Professor was the one that I ended up sticking with. It wasn't originally because I wanted to teach people. It's kind of, it stuck out more than, I didn't want to be another Pokey.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those out there.
Yeah.
And Professor was still Pokemon, but not exactly Pokey or anything similar to that.
Right. It's still relatable, but not exactly like Pokey. Yeah.
Like Cool Trainer Rhino. Sometimes you forget that Cool Trainer is a character in the game.
Right.
And that's because he does it so well. He's Cool Trainer Rhino so well that you forget that it's actually connected to Pokemon. But yeah, so I wanted to do Professor because it's still Pokemon. But then as I just got it going, I was like, yeah, like I don't know what my first like teaching video was, I guess, but I remember I just had so much fun making it. There are a lot more effort to edit than regular openings. But it was so much fun to make. And every single one that I've made, I've loved making it, regardless of how much effort has went into it. They've definitely been my most enjoyable piece of content.
And I feel like a lot of, I don't know, but for myself specifically too, like, you know, I know how you mentioned that there's the one video that you have that you like, the symbol video, right? But it didn't necessarily garner the views or, you know, whatever expectation you had. And I've had so many videos, like not so many, but like a decent amount of videos that I'm like, oh man, I love this one. I really enjoy this one. Like I put a lot of effort, work into it, and it just doesn't, you know, get the reception that you were hoping, but you're like, damn, I still like it. I'm gonna watch it again.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling when you can watch it yourself.
Yeah, because after you're in there editing it for hours, you're just sometimes just like, man, I hate this video already. But other times you're like, okay, this has been a super enjoyable experience. I can't wait to like watch the finished project when it's done. Ricky did come in here with another question. Said, Metri, how has the podcast come together? The one with you, Opossum, Roxandy, Starman, and Dusty.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is all thanks to Dusty. Dusty is our glue. He definitely holds us together the best. I don't know how exactly the origin. I think he went over this on Gonzo's channel once, but he basically, we all just kind of watched each other here and there. And I think him and Roxandy were the ones that were close first, Dusty and Roxandy. And so they started episode 1 together, and it was just them two. And I think he reached out to like Opossum or a few other people and Starman. And I was a fan of Dusty, and I used to watch him. I used to comment on everything. And I commented on like the podcast. I was like, damn, man, I missed this. I'm sorry. He's
Yeah.
like, dude, why don't you just hop on next time? And I was like, oh, okay. And it's really crazy because none of us knew each other. Like we had no clue who any of us were. Like I watched Opossum, but I watched like obviously I watched some of Dusty, but I never watched like all of his old videos. Just watched whatever he posted, and never knew who Rock Sandy was. No clue who Starman was, and it just the group just grew like in bond, I guess, and grew I can't even speak.
Yeah, it really came
our
together.
Bond together. Yeah, it all came together, and we honestly are more friends now than anything, regardless of the podcast. And it just feels really good to have a group. And I've related it to before to like you see Rev and CTR and Pokeball now they're like 3 best buds.
Yeah.
You see, I guess like even like Real Breaking Nate and Super Duper Danny and
right.
And like that crew, and you always see like Pokey Dean and Pokey Club, and I feel like we've developed a group. We have our group. We have our like, and it's just one of like the best feelings. And I don't know, it just we've grown as friends more than anything through the podcast. And so even if the podcast stopped going on for some reason, we'd probably all still be friends.
What's your favorite? Do you have like a moment that kind of stands out as far as like, I want 2 different moments, either personally on your channel, like something that stands out to you the most that you've, that's like unforgettable, or something and something on the podcast. Like, tell me something.
I gotta say one of the coolest feelings or moments, I guess, is going on the podcast and having Pokevault there once, or actually more than once, and also CTR, and like they just hopped in. I was like, there's no way I'm sitting in the same room, same call as like Pokevault and Cool Trainer Ryan and whatever. And it was that was definitely a cool experience just because of how big they are. And I wouldn't say it's like not an unforgettable moment, but like it was definitely a lot of fun to do that. I don't know if our podcast is still pretty young. We don't have anything like, I don't know, because we're just kind of talking back and forth. We never have any sort of like crazy moments happen. We're not opening packs or anything. It's nothing like, I don't know. I think there's just a lot of consistency in all of it, where everything feels amazing. Like I'm really excited every weekend to just hop on a call with everyone. And we have like 10 minutes beforehand, and then like usually it's like 20 minutes after we end the call where we're just all chilling and talking, and that's like honestly like my favorite part. It's awesome. But, and for my own channel, I don't know if there, I guess you said earlier, like someone asked you for like your top 5 moments on your channel.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say it's pretty much like my top 5 pulls, because those are obviously it's hard to like pick a moment that isn't like a crazy pull that is also like a crazy moment, I guess.
Right.
If I really had to narrow down something, where it would definitely be the XY Charizard from my first birthday stream, which is also on like the channel. It's like my 3rd or 4th video. It's mixed in there. It doesn't have its own video. That moment was like unreal to feel that type of hype and excitement. And it like really just like sucked me in to wanting to like just keep opening things to don't clip that.
What did he say?
Daddy, chill.
Oops.
that moment was just unreal. It was awesome.
Man, and those were all some of like the best moments I've ever had from like my personal channel to my other channel. So I get it. Especially like, I think once you get to like, I guess what would the next step be? Like if you ever have like a collab, if another creator comes on to your channel, I think for sure that will be like another moment that you don't forget. And it's like one of the best moments. I remember the first time I ever did a collab was with Get You, another content creator. And he dude, I didn't know him like that. I had met him. I had never met him actually. I've only talked to him. And then it was still when I would have to go to my mom's house. I would have to drive to my mom's house, set up in her garage because we just didn't have enough space, or like it just didn't work out. So I would have to go over there, set up, and that's where he met me. And meeting him for the first time, it's like I don't even know what he looks like. Took a shot.
That's not the stream that like with everyone, was it?
No, it was it was a stream before, which I've had to delete since because it was before I was monetized and we were just playing just straight copyrighted music before,
Nice.
like just so like
Sound fun.
leading up to being monetized, I had to delete it so that YouTube wouldn't hold it against me.
Yeah.
Because if it's like a highly ranked video on your channel and it has like a lot of copyright infringement, they will use that as means to not let your channel be monetized. So I had to delete it. So it didn't have an issue. But yeah, that was like one of the best moments. We were doing a giveaway to end the stream. We pulled the Leafeon V alt art from Evo Skies to give away. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a ton of fun, man. So I think, I don't know who you can collab with, but maybe a card party or wherever, yeah, y'all have time to really interact and maybe do a collab. I know because you said everybody else from the Critical Hit podcast should be going, right?
Yeah, I actually believe it. So this is actually, I forgot to mention this earlier. There's two things I'll mention real quick, but the first one is it wasn't until like episode 4 or 5 of the Critical Hit podcast where I really delved into Starman DX's channel. And he was doing a video he was showing off a mural that's in a town called Huntington.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, that's like 10 minutes away from me. Like what? And it happens to be Starman lives 20 minutes from me, which I think is wild.
Why hasn't this happened? Probably your schedules.
Yeah.
It's always,
we said we'd make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how many people like that live, pretty close, not super close, but decently close next to me. It's just the timing is always off, or real life always gets in the way. But yeah, man, if you guys can, it's gonna be like so much fun for you guys. I would recommend you guys do it.
Get to it.
Ricky in here saying, if you had an unlimited budget, all right, unlimited budget, and you could purchase 3 heavy packs, which would you buy to open, and which cards would you be chasing? Unlimited budget, 3 packs.
Yeah, just give me 3 of any EX pack, honestly. Let me pull any gold star. Give me Unseen Forces.
Bro, give me 3 heavy packs of freaking battle styles.
Those don't exist, my guy.
They don't exist. Facts. I think, dang, dude, what? A pack I've never opened. I'll pick a Skyreach pack. And might as well pick an.
You gotta do Call Legends.
Call Legends, man, goated. I've never opened up a pack. I've thought about buying a pack. Call Legends is up there. I wouldn't be able to hold myself. I would be mad at myself if I didn't try for the Rayquaza. So I'll have to put a Deoxys pack in there. But yeah, I mean the three of those. Just give me 3 of those, and I will have the best 5 minutes of my life.
And then the worst 5 minutes of your life.
Hey, they're heavy, man. I might get something.
Yeah. Oh, they're heavy.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to get graded, PSA, get an 8 on them probably because of the fucked up corners. But it's all good. It's all good. How about yourself? 3 packs besides Call of Legends.
Oh, me?
Yeah, 2 more.
Okay, so I'm definitely gonna do Call of Legends. I think I'd love to open. Shoot, I'm gonna definitely pick 1 EX pack, and I'm gonna pick Holland Phantoms because I've opened EX before. I've never opened Holland Phantoms before.
Gotcha.
And if I think, I know this is gonna be really on the lower end. I really want to open like a Heart Gold Soul Silver pack.
Okay.
I probably base set, or there's one other one. I don't remember. They're all so confusing.
Undaunted, Unleashed.
I know there's Triumphant, Unleashed, and Heart and regular.
Yeah,
but I don't know the difference. Those are the ones. Those are
you forget what's like in each one of them, huh?
Yeah.
I would probably go for the one that has the Deoxys and the Rayquaza. I forgot which one it is though. the legend card.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that card, which is crazy because it's literally Deoxys and Rayquaza.
You're 1 and 2,
which is exactly. But I don't know. The card never did it for me.
No,
but and any of the Heart Gold Soul Silver packs I would go for. I've never got the chance to open them. And I think they're really cool.
Yeah, I would like to open one of those too. Those are more attainable too. We might be able to do that. I saw a blister that was on sale for like $200. I was like, oh, it's for best offer. I was like, you take like what 150? I doubt they would, but still.
They're definitely attainable. I just haven't done it.
Yeah. And apparently I've never opened it, but I know they're supposed to have like pretty good hit rates and everything too. So, you might get lucky. Dude, Metri, kind of talked about you coming up with like Pokemon and, in the contents. On the Critical Hit podcast side, let everybody know when you guys go live.
So we go live pretty much every Sunday at 7 p.m. EST. We're pretty consistent with it. If we do ever change a time, we make sure we let everyone know. It's posted on like 8 different people's Instagram, so make sure you follow. Dusty, Official Dargo, Possible, Rocksteady, Starman DX, all of them definitely have great Instagrams. They're all very active on Instagram, so it's really cool to see that. Starman has like a meme page with over like 30,000 followers. Which is crazy.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
You need to send me the link for that.
So we're always around. And what up? Poke Factory just joined in. I don't know.
Poke Factory. Yeah, I met them in the chat before. I don't know them personally, but I know Poke Factory. What's going on, guys?
Either. They're like he's pretty much another form of Ian. He does a channel with his son. He's one of these smaller. He was one of the smaller channels that I used to like. Found him randomly, supported him. And I was like, dude, I was always in this chat because he has like a really awesome channel, and that man put in work. His channel is his live streams like consistently have like 60 people or sometimes.
Yeah, man.
And, like, he puts in a lot of effort. It's awesome. So it's good to see you, Poke Factory.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Dude, it's everybody that's been in here, man. Thank you guys. Gonzo's been in here dropping links. All my other mods been in here hanging out, lurking. Ricky been dropping links too. Ricky out here doing work. Ricky is doing something right when he's out here doing work as a mod, man. Let's go, Ricky.
I'll put in a good word for you for a raise.
Actually, is there anything you want to talk about, man? I'm in here asking you questions.
The one thing I will promote myself for is, again, the birthday stream on the 16th. That day is really exciting for me.
Yeah.
So I will shamelessly plug it over and over again. I'm going to try and make some, I guess, like Instagram posts / stories just to like remind people and to be there. It's an important day because not because of my birthday, but just because it's become a tradition and a really exciting day for me. So the bigger it gets, the more fun we'll all have. I'll find some awesome stuff. We're all degenerates. We've all
setting himself up for this degeneracy.
So I'll definitely plan some pretty awesome giveaways for that. I haven't really thought of anything, but I try not to focus on giveaways, but that's definitely even on my birthday, I want to give some stuff away, make sure people are, get their fair share of everything. So
having fun with it.
That's the only thing I got for you guys. And also make sure you check out, I will say it again for all the Critical Hit podcast people. They're all really awesome. They've definitely lifted me up 1,000% from what I used to be. And yeah, so I appreciate all of them and give the channel a follow.
Hell yeah, guys. I mean, Metri, I will say, dude, it's always a pleasure and a joy to have you come through like the channel. And you're someone that's been very, generous too, either donating packs or like to me personally. So, man, I appreciate you just being in there, taking the time, man. And I'm glad to have had you on the channel finally on appreciate the podcast. It's been a joy. Every time, I think this is the one aspect of the community that I was missing, like just having the podcast, being able to talk to other people coming through. It's probably one of my favorite things, besides just being degenerates and hanging out with everybody in here, opening up packs. It could be on a small scale that we're talking in the podcast or a large scale. I don't care, man. It's been good to talk to you. So thanks so much for your time. I know you're busy. Like we were talking, it was like, you're like, man,
I appreciate it. Dude. No, dude, I wanted to make time for this.
No,
this is something I wanted to do as a fan of your channel. I felt like this is really important to do,
dude. Nah, man. Anytime anybody takes any time out of their day to be in here is amazing that you guys even do that. So thank you, Metri, everybody else in here as well. Like I said, I'll say it a million times more. Make sure you check out Professor Metri on his channel. December 16th, he has his birthday stream. And then make sure you check out the Critical Hit podcast live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, featuring a ton of awesome creators. I love all you guys. Even love Rock Sandy, man. Rock Sandy. Hey, man, he's almost He's almost a grown up. He can almost hang out with everybody.
2 years, 2 more years.
Yeah, man, I've been trying to have Rock come on here before too, but then he couldn't figure out Zoom, so it was a no-go for him. I think
I thought you were gonna be like, oh, he doesn't have the time. No, dude couldn't figure out his computer.
he said he got banned on Zoom. I'm like, how the hell do you get banned on Zoom? Oh, dude, past his bedtime already. Hey, man, it's Friday. He might be able to stay up a little bit later.
Man.
24-hour stream continues next over on Twitch and IG and Zooms at Kangas Grants. Oh, man. Again, thank you all so much for being in here. Metri, appreciate you. We're going to sign off. The next guest we'll have should be the Pidgey Boys. I forgot what day. I have it scheduled, but I will let you guys know in the community tab. After that, we also have Good Times Gaming coming in here very soon. And then a couple other guests that are going to be in here this December. So thank you guys so much for your patience with this channel. We are going to have some podcasts pumping out. I told you guys, December, started up again. Metri, thank you so much for being in here as the first guest, man. So until next time, y'all. My name is Joey.
Catch you in the next one.
This is Metri.
Sorry.
Peace out, guys. Later, guys.